Welcome back, everyone. Well, as you know, it's times like this when the leaders in our community, and when they step up and they organize and they pull people together and they get proactive about trying to cope with this pandemic and also try to organize themselves and talk amongst themselves and form task force to be able to really look out for our local economy and try to get our communities back on their feet. And outside the fact I'm amazed I just said that so in such an organized fashion, one of the people who really knows how to do this is my guest. This is Darryl Leggieri. Welcome, Darryl.
Thank you, sir. Glad to be here.
Good to see you again. I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been?
Hey, some new challenges, but we're forging ahead. That's for sure.
Yeah, you got that right. Challenges, I think, with a capital C might be appropriate. Uh, thanks for taking the time, Darryl. I've been hearing from a number of people in Saratoga about a task force that was formed that really plays to what I said at the opening here. You guys are just not sitting on your hands. You're thinking to yourself, we better get going. We better have a plan in place. We better talk about the contingencies. And let's face it, Saratoga is a nationally, internationally known destination. So give me a sense of the organizations involved in this and what your priorities are.
Sure. I think it started around March 13th when we were all getting together, realizing that this was going to be pretty serious. And we wanted to make sure that we weren't working in our own silos. And I think collaboration is where it's at. You can't get through this alone. So we made a pact. We started a text chain, and we are communicating on a daily basis. And the 6 organizations that I'm working with right now are the Saratoga County Prosperity Partnership, the Saratoga Economic Development Corporation, the Saratoga County Chamber of Commerce, Saratoga Springs City Center, and the Downtown Business Association. And of course, us, Discover Saratoga, make 6. And we are in constant contact every single day to understand what the governor's saying, to understand what is going on in our city and what we can do to help. As I said, we can't get through this alone. You're only going to make good progress when you're working together, and that just makes good sense.
Boy, you got that right. Now, I'm not exactly sure if a determination will have been made by the time we run this, because every day there's new news. But
Every hour.
yeah, no kidding. Hey, but kind of the breaking news was that the Saratoga Raceway was really considering having the meet, but not allowing the public to attend. You know, when you look at something like that and the economic impact on our community, and then you realize that SPAC was forced to cancel the jazz festival, and maybe the ballet, maybe, hopefully not, but maybe the ballet right behind that. Those have enormous impact right across our business community.
They sure do. And this is going to be a summer like we've never seen before. And we're trying to stay optimistic and maximize our opportunity right now. There's talk about NYRA not having fans at the course, at the track, but it's too early. There's still 9 weeks to go. And we have to be patient and try to understand how this is all going to play out. They're in the process of putting some great protocols together down in Belmont that they in turn want to bring up to Saratoga. These protocols have to do with safety for their workers, safety for the horses, safety for everyone involved in the process. And they want to try and bring that model up to Saratoga so they can start training at the Oklahoma track, and then they can start to begin to have some type of meet, whether that's with fans or without fans. We're not there yet. I know those conversations are happening, and we, like I said, just need to be patient to see how that's all going to play out. Because if they can get these good protocols in place, who knows what's going to happen 9 weeks down the road or 2 months down the road. So every day it's changing, but if they can implement that down in Belmont, bring it up here, that is a great start, and we support that.
What a delicate balance all this is when you think about it, right? You want to be proactive, but you don't want to move too quickly. because of the adverse effects on the other side if, perchance you make a mistake. So, hats off to you and everybody else that you rolled off, the organizations who are participating to try to figure this puzzle out. You mentioned the word safety like 4 times in the last sentence, and I hear it every single day, Darryl. We're also known in Saratoga for conventions, for events. People want to travel to Saratoga. They want to eat in the restaurants. They want to be on Broadway. They want to go to the shops and whatever. The protocols for safety are number one. Give me a sense of how you guys are thinking about that.
Well, there's a lot to take into account. Like right now at the Bureau, we are working with a lot of clients and our lodging partners, as well as the city center, to move group business because we had so much group business stacked for March, April, May through the summer. But now we're shifting the business because a lot of folks don't want to cancel. They don't want to not meet because a lot of organizations consider their meetings and conventions the biggest moneymaker of the year for them. So they want to try and have it, but we all agree that it needs to be done safely. So we're still working on protocol for meetings and events that will take place, and it's happening. Like you said, we don't have all the answers yet. We're developing them day by day, but we feel that when meetings will start to happen, they will be smaller in size. We'll need more space to accommodate them for social distancing. So a big conference of 1,000 people for a general session is probably not going to be able to happen right now. And we've got to get creative. And that's, again, working with our partners, like having different sessions at UPH, having maybe big sessions at the SPAC grounds or the SPAC amphitheater. Could we utilize that space and spread these conventions out throughout the entire town? And I think anything we can do to consider that is going to be helpful. We've got a lot of groups that have moved into the fall and into 2021. But we realize, that's the good news. But the what we have to figure out is how many people are actually going to be able to attend for each conference, because it's just so important for us to get this right, to bring conventions when the time is right to Saratoga, because our community depends on it. Our small businesses, our retailers, our lodging partners, the cultural arts, everybody relies on convention attendees to come in, and leisure travelers as well, to come in and spend their money, not just with the lodging, but everything else, the restaurants, the retailers, the liquor stores, everything. It's just, it all comes together. So we have to make sure that they have the confidence to come here, that they have that they feel that we are taking their well-being as a top priority. Because if they don't feel that way, they're not going to come. And we need to make sure that we can do the best we can to make them feel safe and secure. And remember, Jesse, that Saratoga is all about health, history, and horses. Health is first, right? So it's been that way for how many decades? That's been our moniker for a long time. So we want to make sure that we get that messaging out there, that we are a healthy destination for sure.
Yeah, got it. I was going to mention that health and horses thing. It's really true. People came here to get well, so you can never lose sight of something like that. Toward that end, I've talked to a lot of businesses on Broadway, a lot of restaurants especially, and part of it was creating the guidelines so that there would be unified protocols and that there would be unified message to be able to send to all the constituents and send to all the people who might be attending, want to come here. How is that going? That sounds like a difficult task to try to get things like guidelines together.
Yeah, and they're coming. We're working on that right now. We put together, in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce, a landing page for reopening protocols, and it's called Healthy Saratoga. And it serves as a clearinghouse for all the information for the different industries, that they can post their protocols, and people can use them. For example, hotel protocols on cleanliness guidelines for guest rooms and public space, that's on there. Beauty salon, hair salons, that's on there. Retail, that's going to be on there. So it's popping up every single day. We're getting more and more, so that if people are not sure what they need to do, they need to look at their relative industries and look at that website and see where it applies. And we're hoping to have examples for just about everybody to use and borrow and make it their own in some way. So that's kind of where we're at right now. It's that's going to be really important.
Yeah, you're right. Not to mention the fact that when you have that kind of unified messaging and whatever, it's not bad for lobbying Albany about getting our region open maybe a little bit sooner than downstate, if you know what I mean. So hearing a lot of that kind of talk as well, Darryl. Well, you're doing a fabulous job. We've put that website on the screen, the Saratoga Healthy
Healthy
Saratoga?
Saratoga, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I wrote it down incorrectly. No surprise there, right, Darryl? But it's
All right.
healthysaratoga.org, correct?
Yes.
Yes, good. Okay. One last thing. Known you a long time. You get very passionate about what you do. You get very involved in what you do. Any message you want to send out there? You know, you're in the trenches every day on this.
You know, it's a big responsibility, and I always want to be making sure that I'm doing the best I can for our members and for our destination. I feel like the 6 organizations that I'm partnering with as a group, it's a big responsibility. We don't take it lightly, but we have to keep moving forward with all of the adversity that's coming, and we have to try and stay positive. You know, I have bad days as just like everybody else, but we have to stay positive and know that better things are going to come soon, and we have to do it together. We can't do it alone. We're going to need everybody's help. We're going to need all the customers, all of the meeting planners, all of our guests coming to the area, our elected officials. Everybody needs to come together and do the heavy lifting to have us come out on the other end. And we will. It's just gonna take some time, but we'll get through this together.
It's well said, Darryl. Really well said. Very much like you, by the way. And of course, you know me, my person, I got to close with something that crossed my mind. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to go back to Pinnell's, okay, and get a little shrimp genoese. So look, pal, you stay safe, okay, and keep up the good work. And you're right, we'll get through it together.
Thanks, Jesse. Great talking with you.
Yeah, likewise. Take care.